What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing well. And in this video, I'm going to go over what I expect NASDAQ is going to do this week, and also going to look at like gold and a bit of crypto at the end. But if you guys do like this video, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, let's get straight into it. So first things first, like when I come to my trading desk, right, what I like to do is I always like to see if there's any news this week, right? And this week's pretty relatively chilled week in terms of no US news. Obviously, like there's Canadian news and stuff, but that doesn't really affect, the NASDAQ and, gold and, indices and crypto, right? So it's more US market, news that comes out that will affect it. So this week, pretty much no news until Thursday. We have PCE. And then Friday, not much, right? So the whole week's relatively easy. So price action should be quite clean in terms of, you don't have to wait for news and to get like a setup or anything. You can just use the volume from each session, okay? So when we look at the NASDAQ, what I want to quickly point out here is that one thing to do is what I always do as I come to my chart is put the daily low, so previous daily low and then previous daily high, right? So what does that do? Basically, it gives us the range of like where liquidity is sitting, and we've already taken out the previous day low, right? We've taken out that low over here for the NASDAQ. So for me right now, there is a good chance that the NASDAQ could get to an all-time high, which is what I'm expecting for this week, okay? Obviously, there is no news, so there's no like catalyst that's we're going to get a dump or a pump. But just based on price action, it looks like we are going to potentially take out all-time high and come a little bit higher here, right? So I'm looking at potential longs for the NASDAQ today on this breakout, looking like a breakout play. The thing is, right now, if you can see over here, we are still below this fair value gap over here. You can see how price literally got rejected from the zone multiple times. You can see this level has been acting as a key level of selling pressure, and right now we're trying to break out again. So I'm trying to play along today, basically looking for a break of trend from this high over here, and then also just looking to take out this previous high and then hold, because the thing is with if you trade until the new highs, you can actually potentially hold a runner to another level, right? So I'm going to look for potential long on the NASDAQ if we can break out of the zone, right? So, it's all about waiting and seeing. You can't just take it long now because we're at resistance, right? So taking it long now just, it's really stupid because we don't actually know what's going to happen. You'd rather wait for confirmation to see if we can get that push or not. So I'm waiting for NASDAQ to break out over here. So let's see if we can. Obviously, it's going to be new territory over here. We won't really know where we're going to head. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if we can get a push today on the NASDAQ or within this week, right? I do expect the NASDAQ to touch like these levels at least once. You can also look for an SFP at the zone over here, which basically means you can look for potential sells at this level. So yeah, I'm looking at NASDAQ longs within today / this week. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, just wait for the 1 hour candle to close or the 4 hour candle to close above this trend over here. Ideally, the 4 hour higher time frame bias obviously gives you a lot more confirmation in terms of trades going well, and because if you trade on the 5 minutes and the 1 minute, but you're not using higher time frame bias, then you're not going to actually get a setup that's worth taking, right? Because if you're taking a long and short on the 5, you have to get a higher time frame bias in terms of the 4 hour, because you want to take it to the 4 hour highs or something like that, right? So make sure you know exactly what you're doing in terms of waiting for this. So I'll just wait for price to actually just close above here, and then we take the long, and then we're fine, right? So that's kind of the game plan for NASDAQ. And then looking at gold this week, I'm actually looking at sells throughout the week for gold. We broke structure to the downside. Everything is pointing bearish for gold. We actually did take some nice sells last week, if you guys remember from the previous video. And we did say gold was going to dump from the zone, and we got a huge reaction from this level. So we've really spoken about gold, getting that massive push down. And yeah, it was a very nice setup last week. So hopefully we can get another setup. But in terms of what I'll be looking at now, we have to wait and see if we can get some type of reaction at key levels, right? So let's have a look and see where are these key levels. What I like to do is I like to put the session breaks on just to give us the previous day close and open, just to give us a bit of a thing, and then grab the fixed range volume profile, and then what you want to do is you want to take it from the previous day to the current day open. This will give you a bit of a volume profile of where price is heading. And you can see with gold on the lower time frame, this is exactly what I'm looking at right over here, right? So we did actually retest this previous high over here. Then what I like to do is I also like to extend this to the right, and you can see over here. Okay, so what we can see, what I would want to wait for here is potentially this break of trend over here. We can look at it like that for gold. Okay, so I'm actually only really looking for sells for gold this week. I'm not really interested in taking buys because of the fact that we are quite bearish. This bounce over here just looks like like a dead cat bounce, or it's not too much volume within this move. So it doesn't look like it's going to sustain itself in terms of price going higher. So I am looking at potential sells if we were to actually take out this low over here. So we're just waiting for a break of trend on the 15. You can also see over here, I mean, if you want to look for buys, you have to break above this level over here. But sells for me just look pretty clean, in my opinion. I would look for sells all the way back down to this point of control over here. Stop loss just above this high over here. TP literally like down here. Okay, so it could be quite a nice trade this week. Hopefully we can get it today. I mean, it's looking like price action wants to move a bit today in terms of gold, especially. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, definitely looking at a potential sell. Rather wait for the 15-minute candle to close below this level here and then look for continuation. I'm just going to grab this back just to see where the other range was so we can look for TPs. So your first TP would probably just be this level over here, and then the rest would be down here, right? So this is a pretty nice setup in my opinion. This is one of my better setups that I take. Break of trend works really well when you're actually moving in the momentum that you're taking the trade, right? Because the momentum is down and you're looking for a break of trend on the support side of things, right? Whereas if you look for a break of trend and you're trying to go for a reversal, sometimes you'll see a lot of fake outs, right? So just be careful, but definitely looking for a break of trend over here today. Okay, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get that trade. What you want to do is you want to put like a nice little reminder, an alert, just so we know we're cruising once we're there. All right, so that is kind of what I'm looking at for today. I'm not really interested in taking longs for NASDAQ just yet. If you guys obviously we have to wait for the 4 hour for me personally, right? I want to see if the 4 hour close above that zone, then we can take longs. But yeah, everything that I trade is literally tracked on this website over here, Track My Trades. So basically you just connect your exchange, boom. So you connect, and what I like to do is every day I like to sync. So Track My Trades, the links are in the description in terms of if you guys want to join. Just mapping the session quickly. So basically you want to just connect the exchange that you're actually trading on, and then you can sync all your trades, and then you can actually go and analyze it more in depth with Track My Trades. So it's a nice tool, gives you a whole like summary about what's happening. But let's wait and see once we sync this, and then I'll show you guys some of the trades we took. We actually did take a nice trade today. What was it? It was a WorldCoin short. It was actually pretty beautiful. Broke trend, retested, looked for sells, and then we TP'd over here, right? So it was a very, very nice trade. But yeah, let's wait until this syncs. So sometimes what I like to do is I actually sync it pretty much every day, but I haven't sunk it in a while. You can also do auto sync over here. So every 12 hours it would sync automatically, so you don't have to sync it always. But yeah, it doesn't take long. Literally been a minute. So there we go. We've sunk complete, and you can see it's been quite a good week in terms of we had a nice WorldCoin short, we did an Ondo short, we did a Bitcoin long 45. So last week was a really, really good week in terms of my trading. You can go to dashboard over here, shows you all your trades from the previous week. My trades as well. Guys, just mess around with the platform. I also do have pretty much if you go into the channel, I've gone through literally every single thing on the side over here. So make sure you guys do check it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video, but I hope you guys have a good day. Remember, we are waiting for those gold sells. It was more of a NASDAQ video today, but with gold, looking for sells on the break over here is pretty clean in my opinion. And then NASDAQ, just wait for that break of trend a little bit later. Okay, cool. So I hope you guys do have a great day, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace out.